Hello everyone and welcome to the second game of the best of 3 that opposes two very great players on AOE4, Elyona, who is playing the Ayubids in the blue color, and Dicynator, that is playing the English in the color red. We are in a very good tournament that is organized by EGCTV. Don't hesitate to go and watch them on YouTube, on Twitch. And yeah, you will have everything in the description, of course. You can also have the links of the players also in the description. I don't say it every time, but every time I put it in the description, the links of the players, in order for you to find them if you want to go and watch their content and help them with the content creation, of course. Here we are in the EGC Masters Winter. We are in the qualifications. Those players are trying to qualify for the main event, and yeah, this is a very cool tournament. We are on Dry Arabia. Dry Arabia is a map, you know this map, you know the map, of course. This is a map very open, where you kind of want to take the map control, where you kind of want to put pressure on your opponent to have the control map, to have the resources. But you can also sometimes turtle. It depends of the map, it depends of the civilization you're playing. Here I assume that the English player will turtle a maximum versus the attacks of the Ayubid. That's what I think that's what will happen in this game. Very interesting to see this match. Two very great players, two French players actually, and I'm very glad to cast it because, well, I'm a French content creator, of course, and I like my country. I like my country. I like to support the French players, of course. Elyona is a very strong one, and I hope he will go far in this tournament. Of course, Dicynator also, but I don't want to lie. Elyona is a very good player, and he's better on ATR right now, and I hope he will qualify for this event. We will see that right now. We have the culture ring from Elyona. The culture ring grants you 2 dervishes. The dervishes can go and gather the relics, not on H2 of course, but on H2. Why are we doing this on H2? Because, well, for some reasons. The first one is that you can heal some units, so you can do, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 units on the H2, and those units will be unkillable because the dervishes can heal them, and so you don't have to make a lot of army in order to fast H3, and it gives you, well, it gives you a little bit of a better timing to have your H3, while you can also put pressure on your opponent with a little bit of units, and your opponent will have to do more units than you to counter what you've made, and so you will have a better H3 than him. Well, not a better one, because of course we are Ayubids, and when you are Ayubids you have to wait a lot before that your age comes through, but with other civilizations, of course, you can put 4 villagers to build the landmark, but also you can put, I don't know, 8, 10 if you kind of want it to go fast. But with the Ayubids and also the Abbasid, you cannot do that, of course, because you do it with the House of Wisdom. This is an advantage because all your villagers are gathering, but this is also, well, a disadvantage because, well, you cannot build it faster, as I said before. So sometimes it's very interesting to have it very soon because you want to have technologies on your army, to defend, to attack, and you cannot do that. And this is quite difficult to understand that with this civilization. And yeah, I think it's the most difficult in this game to know exactly when you have to H3 or H4, H2, etc. H2 it's okay, but H3 and H4 it's kind of difficult because sometimes you want to go on those Hs to have technologies, but you cannot because your opponent is putting too much pressure on you. And yeah, sometimes you have to do it, sometimes you don't have to do it, and if you do it at the wrong time, then you can lose your game just because you went on your H too soon or too late, and it's very important to understand when you have to go age up and when you have to do all your technologies, what technologies. And this is a very interesting game for that, I think, because you have a lot to understand in this game. You have to understand how the game works in general, but also with all the mechanics, with the technologies, etc. And as I said before, here you can see the desert raiders that are coming through, the desert raiders that can be healed with the dervishes. And yeah, I feel like this is a very good build order from Elyona. I really like it, and I think I first saw it on 2v2, and I think it's very, very cool on 2v2. Why? Because you can have the desert raiders that counters all the civilizations that have heavy cavalry, and a lot of the time you have a heavy cavalry civilization on 2v2. So this is very interesting. And here I don't really know why Elyona is doing this against English, because English is a very good civilization to make archers, because their archers are very, very strong, but also they have the council hall. They can produce 2 times faster the archers thanks to that, and they have archers that have, I think it's +2 range and +1 damage. And yeah, the desert raiders are countered by this unit. So I feel like it's kind of difficult what he's doing, Elyona. This is not the best stuff, I feel like, but what can you do against an English? If you do archers, then your opponent has better archers than you, so it's not very cool. If you do desert raiders, then the opponent has archers that destroys your desert raiders. But I feel like it's okay. Look at that. Look at the tankiness of your unit thanks to the dervishes. This is very insane. You can heal so much with your units. But yeah, of course, there is a lot of archers. And as I said before, you can force a lot of units from your opponent while you're not doing that much. And this is very interesting. And now the horsemen come through. And we have to do more army for Elyona, because there is too much from his opponent. We have to defend against those archers, because if you don't defend against them, then you will lose your gold, you will lose a lot of villagers also on wood, and this will be very difficult. So you have to produce army right now. You have to counter all this, because it can be difficult. But I feel like this matchup can be very difficult for Ayubids because of the longbowmen that are a very good unit against Ayubids, because it counters the desert raiders, and you don't have that much units from Ayubids to counter that, except the horsemen. But the horsemen, of course, are not that strong, because you can counter them with the spearmen. So yeah, kind of difficult matchup, especially on the H2. But if Elyona can go H3, it can be very difficult for the English, because of the Menjanic, the special mangles for the Ayubids that are very strong against the archers, and also that can destroy buildings. And of course, you can have the camel lancers. You can have a lot of units that are very, very, very strong. And I really like this wall. You can see the position of the wall. He didn't made it here. He made it here. Why? Because if he made it here, the archers could go there and see the villagers and kill them. So it's very interesting to put it very forward in order to avoid the archers killing your villagers. So it's very, very cool, and it's a small wall that doesn't cost a lot and protects you from your opponent. And you can see all the villagers are gathering wood on this side, not on this side. Why? Because, well, here it's protected, here it's not. So you have to put all your villagers at there to protect them, of course. You can see the range of these units. Oh no, 2 villagers down, and we have no food anymore for Elyona. Very difficult. We can see here an outpost to protect the gold. Of course, we kind of want the gold, and I feel like it's very difficult for Elyona right now. They have pretty much the same army, but Elyona wants to go H3, but can he? Because there is a lot of army from the Dicynator, and he can put a lot of pressure. And if Elyona goes h3, he has to wait 2 minutes before it ages up. And if he waits 2 minutes, then the Dicynator can do a lot of damage, of course. So, yeah. The outpost doesn't have an arrow slits, so it can be difficult to protect it because of the range of the archers. Yeah, it's okay. Can protect. But the arrow slits is very interesting, and you can have it very easily if you put like 5 villagers to the stone. You don't even have to put to do the mining camp. You can just gather 50, put it on your TC, and then gather other resources, and you have the arrow slits. This is very interesting. And Elyona, stop. Oh, okay. I was saying, I wanted to say that he didn't want to h3 because it doesn't show on the UI. But yeah, he is going h3 with the economic wing, 7 villagers. He lost 2 villagers, so he will have a little bit of a payback with this. And what is very interesting is also the 100 food per berry bush. This is very interesting in order to have more food and to delay more your farm transition, which is very difficult with the IO bits because, well, you don't have a lot of bonuses on your farms. And on the other hand, of course, the English, you know them, they have a lot of bonuses on their farm. They cost 37 of wood instead of 75, and they also have more gathering on them, so this is very, very strong. Elyona is behind in army. Of course, he's aging up while Dicynator is not, but I feel like he's gonna do it. So I feel like this is a pretty tough situation for Elyona, and as I said before, I'm not sure of what I'm saying right now, but I think English are quite strong against Iobit because they can counter them quite easily with the army at the beginning of the game, and so it puts the Iobit in a situation where they are behind, and it's very difficult to well, to change it, to counter them back. Maybe with the H3, maybe. We will see that. We have 3 units that are stuck here. We can't see what units it is. Maybe it's villagers? Yeah, it's villagers. That's sad to have 3 villagers that are stuck for that long. And we can see here the white tower that is coming from Dicynator. I feel like in this situation I'd rather do the other landmark in order to have a second TC. You put a lot of pressure to your opponent. You don't really want to protect yourself with the white tower. You kind of want more economy because you force your opponent to defend. You force a lot of stuff in their base, and so he doesn't have that much of units. You don't really want to have this defend, and I feel like the other landmark is okay to defend. It's not... It's a little bit less effective, of course, but it's okay. You can put fewer villagers, of course, in it. You cannot do also units, but you have more villagers and you have a better economy, so you can catch up with your opponent, and you know when you're playing against Iobits that he must have done as an H3 the 7 villagers, so you know he's ahead and you have to catch it back. And also you know that he will have more easily the relics than you because he has the dervishes, and especially because Elyona went for the H2 with the dervishes, so he has more mobility with it, and he also has them just right when he's H3, so he can gather all the relics. So you have 2 bonuses for the Iubid, and you kind of want to catch him back on that, so I feel like the second landmark, the other landmark, would be better. I don't really know the name, so I'm sorry, I won't say it. I think it's the Palace of the King, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm I'm a French guy, so sometimes I don't know the names of the stuff. I will improve on that, I can assure you, but I'm sure you see what I'm talking about. As long as you understand me, it's okay. And if you don't, say it in the comments. And you can yell at me. You can say, hey, you're saying stupid stuff. And I want you to improve because I don't understand you. Of course, don't do that. I would be sad. Okay, very good raid here, and all the villagers are... Oh, okay, they were not blocked. I think they were. I thought they were, but no. 2 kills, it's okay for Dicynator. He has a good economy because of the farms. And I feel like he's in a okay spot, but I think it can flips right now, the coin, because here we have, very soon we will have the Manjanic, and this will be very difficult for the English player to counter that. And yeah, but on the very late game I feel English will be better, so it goes a little bit like this. The English is better on H2, the Ayubids is better on H3, but on H4 I think the English are very, very strong and better than the Ayubids. So if you're playing Ayubids, you have to take the spot to attack your opponent at the good timing, and to defend very well at the beginning of the game, because this is going to be difficult. I think Elyona was very good at the beginning of the game. I questioned a little bit of the Desert Raiders, but I think he doesn't have that much choice. I really like the second TC because he has to catch up with the English economy. He can go ahead of him. He can produce more, and it will delay the timing where the English will be better than him. As I said before, on the very late game, I think English is better. But if you do a second TC and the English is not, then you will have a very good timing. But I don't really like this fight for Elyona. If you're making a second TC, you don't have that much of units than your opponent. And I feel like Elyona is in a pickle right now. It's a very difficult position here. He forced the fight, I think, to protect this town center. But now, what is going to happen? What is very strong with the English, of course, is those man-at-arms that are very tanky. Here we have only the +1 for the archers, and we don't even have the special technology that is very strong, +2/+2 armor on the melee and also on distance. So this is very, very strong. And I feel like Elyona did a pretty good job at defending here, using these archers in order to hit and run. This is very well done, but the English had so much army, and here the crossbowmen against the archers are not a very good idea, but this is all he has to defend, so this is pretty difficult. But here comes those camel lancers, and the camel lancers are very, very cool here in this position. We have a sacred site here for Elyona. We are gathering all the deers here. This is pretty cool. A second TC is coming from Dicynator. And I feel like he can do like 3 TCs now. He's ahead. He knows it. He has more units. He took a okay fight. And he knows the Ayubids cannot go out on the game. Cannot go out on the map. And he can do a lot of economy because he's English. He has a very good defense. So even if the Ayubids can attack him, he can defend quite easily. Especially if he has a lot of man-at-arms that are upgraded right now. They have the +2/+2 very soon. I think he's doing the technology. And yeah, I think this is a very good spot. But I don't feel like Dicynator, sorry, has to continue to attack. He has to fall back. He has to put a lot of economy, to put a third TC, do a lot of economy. And yeah, wait for the late game. I think this is the play here, because Ayubids is going to be quite annoying right now for him with the Manjanic. As I said before, it is here. This is a very good unit to counter the archers. And if you're turtling into your base, then it's not that effective as if you're if you're attacking. Of course, it's better. if this is defending, if the Monjanik is defending, it's better, of course. That's what I wanted to say. A third TC here for Elyona. And as I said before, if you're English, you can do like as much TC as your opponent. As the game goes, you will win. So, okay, your opponent goes 3 TC, I go 3 TC. And then I will have the same economy, even more. And I will go on the late game, and on the late game I have insane units, and I don't think he has to force the attack. Maybe he will do it, maybe not. But he has to defend the secret site. This is very good to do it with a few units to decapture, neutralize the secret site. Very good walls here from Elyona to protect his base. We have a little bit of an advantage on economy, but does it really feels? Yeah, it feels a lot on the income. We have a lot of wood compared to his opponent, and yeah, Dicynator has to be careful about that because Elyona has a spot here to produce more and to put pressure on the English. I feel like a lot of the games in AOE4 are very, very long when there is an English in front of you. And I understood it when I was playing this game. So if you don't know me, I'm a Kong 2 player on AOE4. I'm trying to reach Kong 3 and I'm not that far. I think I am 20 points from the Kong 3. Maybe you can come and see me on Twitch to see if I can reach the Kong 3. But that's not the point of what I'm saying here. I was saying that when I play against an English, every time the games are very long. And it can last like 50 minutes, 1 hour. While the other games against any civilizations are more like 20, 30 minutes. And I feel like it's mainly because of the design of the civilization. I talked about it in a video in my French YouTube. But yeah, the problem with this civilization is that you have very good food sources without going on the map. You don't even have to risk your villagers. And we talked about that also with the Pro Scout on the previous game. But yeah, I feel like it's a problem because you cannot attack an English. It's impossible to destroy him. And so you have to win against them by making stuffs like capturing all the secret sites and winning by sacred victory. Or maybe you can do trade and then he's forced to counter you, because if he lets you trade, then you will have so much economy and he will not. So you will be so ahead that he cannot defend against you. But if you have pretty much the same economy, or if you have a little bit more than him, you cannot destroy the English, because he has a lot of bonuses on the defense, the 20% attack speed, that can be 30%. He has, as I said, the mill, the farms that cost very few resources, but also that gathers a lot of resources, so he doesn't have to risk his villagers. It's very easy to protect, but also the white tower that can produce siege, and so it's very easy to defend. It can produce any units that you want, and also the man-at-arms that can tank everything. This is insane. 7/7 is just absurd. It's a unit that cannot be killed even by crossbowmen. This is very difficult. So, and yeah, you have also the best archers. You have a lot of stuff to defend. And yeah, I feel like it's very difficult to kill the English, and that's why all the games with the English are always very, very, very long. And also because the English doesn't really want to push also. This is not a civilization where you want to push your opponent, because you have units of infantry that moves very slowly, especially the longbowmen. As I said before, they have +2 range, they have +1 damage, but they move slower than any other archers in this game. So you don't really want to go on the map, and that's the main point of what I was saying before. With the English, you want to force them to go out on the map. If you're playing against the English, you kind of want to do a trade, so they have to go on the map, destroy your trade, and then you can catch them and kill their army, and then they're getting destroyed. Or you have to win with a sacred victory, etc. We are not talking about the Wonder, of course, because because this is impossible in 101. If you have the same level as your opponent, of course, if you're a Conqueror and you're playing against the Bronze player, of course you can win with a Wonder, but in the normal game, it's not happening, of course. Very interesting what he's doing, Elyona here. He's forcing the English to fall back on the gold, and yeah, he has a gold here, so it's okay for Dicynator. He can go h4, but it's kind of difficult for him right now, and I talked about it. Ayubids can have a very interesting stuff against the English. It's the Manjanic. They can destroy the buildings very easily. I don't know for this fight. I really like the fight for the Ayubid, but look at those archers that can destroy the Manjanic while they are not doing any damage to the army of his opponent. And look at this tankiness of the man-at-arms. That's what I was talking about just before. Look at this army. You cannot destroy it, and this army is not that expensive. You know, it's normal man-at-arms. It costs the same cost as any man-at-arms, but they are the tankiest ones of this game. And this is the same cost of an archer. No, this is a little bit expensive. This is a little bit more expensive, sorry. You have 10... I think it's cost 10 food more than other archers. But you see what I mean. Like, you have a very, very effective army, and it costs not that much. And I think it's the main issue here, because with the same resources, you have a very good army. Especially if you're under your TC or an outpost, because you have the 20% attack speed bonus. But here, this is the main issue with the English, is that you have a very slow army. I talked about it before, and Elyona is using it very, very well. He's using the mobility of his horsemen to catch all these archers and his crossbowmen, and he's destroying everything. You have to be careful when you are playing the English about that, especially if you're going forward. If you are attacking your opponent, then the opponent can catch you, and you cannot fall back. You are gonna be destroyed by his army if he has more. You cannot run away with this civilization. If you're taking a fight, then you're doomed. You are taking this fight no matter what. You don't have a choice. You are too slow to take this choice. This is what I really don't like about this civilization, by the way, because you have to wait that your opponent goes under your TC and die. This is the main stuff with the English. You have to wait that your opponent does the wrong move, because you cannot really go on the map, because you see what happened. And yeah, if the opponent goes under your base, then this is him that do the wrong stuff. Elyona h4 can do a lot of technologies, and I like the choice of his h4. This is the age of the Desert Raiders. The Desert Raiders are not very good on h2, but they are very, very, very strong on h4 because of the how do you call it? The technologies that you can have on them. They can be very interesting because well, they are strong. They have pretty good stats. And the main reason why they are not good on h2 is mainly the cost. This is very, very expensive unit. But on h4, as they are very strong, it's okay to how can I say that? To pay for them. Okay, so we have also this technology to have better income with the relics. Very interesting when you have a lot of relics. The English is going h4 with the Berkshire. And as you can see, as I said before, this is a very defensive gameplay. Like, he's waiting that the opponent comes in his base, and when he's going on the map, he's getting destroyed every time. So this is the main stuff with the English. If you like to play defensive, play this civilization, because this is the best one. But you have to understand that if you go out on the map, you will be destroyed. So you have to wait that your opponent goes into your base, dies, and then you can kill him. This is what you have to understand. Okay, so we are h4. We have a lot of technologies here for Elyona, and the technologies are coming through. For the English, not a lot of technologies actually, because We don't have that much gold, and so we don't have the longbowmen. We don't have the man-at-arms that are elite. Yeah. We only have the enclosures that allows you to have gold with your farms. I'm really surprised that he didn't made any technologies on the farms. Like, he's lacking a lot of golds, I think. And we have a very, very good army here from Elyona. Very interesting one. Will it be enough to kill this English? Will it be enough damage? And you can see here, what can he do? He cannot do any damage here. There is too much army that is protecting. This army is very, very strong. This is boosted by 20% of attack speed. These man-at-arms are unkillable, and yeah, I feel like the game can last like 1 hour very easily, even if Elyona has the contour map. I think he could have took this secret sites, because if he take this secret site, then it forces the English to go out on the map again, and then he can take a good fight, and if he can take a good fight, then this is good for him. So if he take all the secret sites and he forces the English to go out, maybe he can win easily this game. But yeah, this is kind of a mistake from Elyona here. Even if he's a very good player, he does some mistake. we have to agree on this. And this is quite cool to see that even very, very, very good players are making mistakes. It helps us also to see that we are not the only ones that made mistakes. Because I do a lot of mistakes. This is a little bit of a reassurance for me. Okay, so I don't really like that kind of games, because we are going into the dark side of AOE4 for me. Like, yeah, nothing happens right now in the map. There is no fight, there is nothing strategically. We are just waiting for the opponent to go out or to attack us. And yeah, this is the main point of this gameplay. And as I said before, this is mainly against English that I see this, and I think that it could be interesting to see what can be done to change it, because this is not interesting to watch. I think this is not very cool. What I really like about the game, maybe I'm wrong about it, maybe you love this, but personally I don't like it, and this is cool if you like it. I like to see different opinions, of course. This is very interesting, but to me it's not interesting. Why? Because, well, what I love about AOE4 is the strategy. And if you are in a game where there is no strategy like this game, for example, because here we are just waiting for what is happening, then it's less interesting. And the more the game goes on, and the less the strategy, I think. Because where there is the more the strategies on the build orders, it's on the map control, is on whether I'm going economy or whether I'm going to attack the opponent, etc. But the more the game goes on, the more you're making the same units, the more you're making always the same stuff. You're just spamming your units into the enemy base, and I feel like it's not that interesting to watch. I'm saying to watch, but also for me to play. But it can be different depending if you like to play it, if you like to watch it. Personally, I don't like both sides, but some players like to play it but don't like to watch it. Some players like to watch it but don't like to play it, etc. It depends of the kind of person you are, of course. And I'm really looking forward to see to hearing from you in the comment section. Don't hesitate to tell me what you think about all that. I think it's very cool. Very cool to understand what you think about that, but I personally think that they should change it. Okay, we have an insane bank here from Elyona. You have a lot of resources, and I think if he's putting pressure on his opponent, then he can destroy him. But Yeah, he's waiting for the sacred victory, I think. He will turtle around those sacred sites. He will put some towers, maybe some keeps, and wait. Yeah, that's what you have to do against the English. Maybe also what happened with me in a ranked games, not very long time from now, is yeah, okay, the English surrendered. This is very cool. What happened very soon is that I killed the English because he didn't have wood anymore. So this is another stuff that you can do against the English. Okay, this was an interesting game, even if this is not the favorite kind of games that I like. But don't hesitate to go and watch EGCTV, of course. Don't hesitate to subscribe if you like this video. I will do some cast in English, of course. I will do also some other stuff in English. I'm not sure right now what I will do. Maybe some tutorials, maybe some interviews, maybe a lot of stuff for AOE4, of course, mainly on AOE4. And yeah, don't hesitate to go and watch EGCTV. We will catch each other on the next one, on the next cast. See you very soon. Bye bye.